What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Inferno here, and I'm checking in once again with yet another tutorial. Yes, sir. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you guys how I was able to achieve this nice piece I have on screen. So without wasting yet a second of your time, let's get to work. So with this particular workflow, I operated with two software. You can use Adobe Photoshop for everything, but I used Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop hand in hand for this particular artwork. So I will start the title design in Adobe Illustrator, and Adobe Photoshop is going to follow. So I just open up Adobe Illustrator real quick, and then I'll go to File, New, and then I would create my document, or let's say my canvas, my artboard. In Illustrator we create artboards, not canvas. So if you are not familiar with my Adobe Illustrator workflow, please visit this video and get back quickly afterwards. All right, thank you. So my unit of measurement is inches and 5 inches by 5 inches respectively. Okay, now I'll keep everything down here intact. Now I'll go to create. I've already created the artboard, so you would click on create. Mine is to click on close. Okay, all right, so close. Then I'm going to create this. Okay, Impact Makers Conference. So I'll first start with my title. I'll just click and I would register impact. Okay, impact. Press escape to register. Then I have it like so. Okay, I'm going to maintain this font style. Wow, why am I going to maintain this particular font style? I'm going to maintain this particular font style because it speaks volume. It is in line with what the client wants me to achieve for this particular artwork. When you go online and you search for impact, okay, you are going to get a lot of synonyms for impact, and what you are going to realize is that all those synonyms kind of carry weight. Okay, so that is what the word impact means. So in this particular case, or in this particular scenario, I decided to go in for bold fonts, okay, to kind of speak volumes for this particular artwork. Okay, so that is how you design artworks, that is, or titles for flyers. Don't just create anything. Okay, just research before you can even comment. Okay, all right. So I'll just, one more thing, I'll just reduce the kerning, okay, in here like so. That is the spaces between the individual characters, like so. So I think 49 is fine. I would maintain 49, and I would move it here. I'll just double click, move my insertion point with the arrow key to the final end or to the end. Press enter and type makers, like so. Okay, very good. Drag over the makers and reduce the size to somewhere here. Press Ctrl A and change the paragraph style to centered to get something like so. Press escape to register and then move it here. Reduce the line spacing or the tracking from here, like so. Okay, this is what we want to achieve. Okay, so move it a bit up, like so. Okay, and reduce the kerning a little bit more, something like that. Okay, and I curved the font in a way, okay, to all kind of speak volumes for that particular title, or for this particular title. So I just came here, I clicked here, make envelope, then I selected bulge. Okay, when you move your slider here, it's going to give you something like this. When you move it there, it's going to give you something like this. I want somewhere in between, so somewhere here, -5, -5. Okay, like so. Okay, all right. So with that done or created, or let me just type in -4 and see. -4 looks good, so I just go to OK, and I have that. Okay, and I have that. So what I did afterwards was I kind of see, when you come to window, you have Pathfinder here. I'm going to use the Pathfinder to do something kind of unique in this particular artwork in some few minutes. So I selected the impact makers and I came to objects and then envelope distorts and expand. Are you good? All right. So like so, move it up and then I kind of separated the impact word from the makers, okay, so that I can apply the Pathfinder effect that I've spoken about already. Okay, all right. So I just came in here to properties, on group, click outside, select on group again, and now when you drag over, you can get only the impact. Press Ctrl X to just cut the impact characters, then click here, create a new layer. Make sure that it's selected by clicking here, Ctrl Shift V to paste in place. And let's start. So create a new layer on top of it, click on it, P for the pen tool. Then we are going to try to achieve this curvature here. So just left click and drag like so. Left click and drag at the end. V for the move tool. And select this, hold shift, okay, shift click, shift click, shift click, shift click, okay, and then come to the Pathfinder, okay, Pathfinder here, and then do your splitting, okay. So you go to window just as I went earlier, and then Pathfinder if yours is not visible, and then select divide, trim, click on properties, on group, click outside, and then now click on this delete, click on this delete, and now you have this, okay. All right, select, click on the key, click inside the layers, create a new layer on top, and then let's try to achieve this, okay. All right, so P for the pen tool, and then left click, okay, left click and drag V, okay, select this, okay, select this, okay, and then hold shift, click, 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 click. Okay, you can also do everything from here straight away. Just, okay, divide, trim, properties, on group, okay, then click outside, click, delete, drag over to see, okay, everything is intact. And then now we are left with the conference, okay. T for the type to left click and type conference, okay, conference. Escape, hold shift or not, left click and drag inwards like so, okay, to get something like this, okay. Shift or not, left click and drag inwards, okay, to get something like this, okay. Click here, okay. This time you are not going to go for board, you are going for arc, okay. So you select, change it from board to arc, okay, and with the arc to, you're going for the vice versa or the inverse. So go into the plus values, okay, like so, okay, then go to okay, click on it, then increase the size a bit, okay, not too much, something like that, okay. Click here and create a new layer, okay. We are going to achieve this, we want to achieve this. So create a new layer, select it, U, M for this to switch the background and foreground color, press I, sample, and switch it again, okay. Shortcut is Shift X, okay, Shift X. Hold M, press M for the tool again, and okay, hold Shift, and then get a perfect, hold Shift and left click and drag to your right to get a perfect circle, perfect rectangle, and rely on this point here to curve it like so. Okay, all right. move it somewhere here, and then you increase the thickness like so. Okay, increase the thickness, and then you click here, you just press T for the type 2, and then just left click and type 25. Okay, press escape, hold shift and alt, left click and drag to your left to reduce the font size, release, and then drag it here, zoom in. Okay, hold shift and alt, left click and drag to your right to reduce the size, shift and alt, left click and drag to your right to increase the size, something here. Okay, like so, and reduce. Okay, take the kerning to 0 to get something like this. Okay, select the created shape, come into the layers by left clicking there, and press Ctrl X to separate it from the 25. Okay, and then create a new layer on top like so. Click on it to make sure that it's selected, press Ctrl Shift V to paste in place, and create another layer on top. Select it by left clicking here, P for the pen to Shift X to swap the foreground and background, and then left click and drag. Okay, left click and drag, left click and drag. Okay, this is what we want to achieve. Okay, something like that. Left click. Okay, left click and drag, release. Let's see. Okay, let's left click on it and move it upwards like so, somewhere here. Okay, A, left click on this point, move it here, left click, move it here. Okay, like so. Hold Alt, left click and drag to your right to kind of work on that particular curve well. Then V for the move to, and then fix it. Okay, all right. So I like it this way, and now I'll select my rectangle layer and I'm going to outline it. Okay, now go to Object and then Path, Outline Stroke, select it, hold Shift, select this, and click on come back to Layers, and then click on Pathfinder, and then once again divide and trim. Okay, all right. Click on Properties, on Group, click outside, left click delete, left click delete, left click delete, left click delete. Just hover your mouse and then you are going to get the areas that you have errors in there, and then delete them. Left click on it, hold shift, left click on this to add, move it downwards like so. Okay, see that? All right, so you just left click and then type 2025. Okay, Control A to select everything, and then do the font size like so. Okay, all right. Go click. Okay, click here, Control A to select and type somewhere around 200. Okay, 800. Drag it here, then click and drag, and then reduce the size like so, and type. Okay, click here, Control A, 1200. Like so. Okay, 1500. Just reposition it, pushing it like so, and then I think that is cool. We are done with this. Then let's work on this one on top. Okay, all right. Click create a new layer like so. Okay, and M for this particular 2, rectangle 2, and then left click and drag like so. Okay, and P for the pen to click here to add a point, click here to add a point. Okay, left click. Okay, left click to subtract, left click to subtract, V for the move to, select it, and then right click on it, select polygon, left click and drag, click on this diamond here, move it up to get this. Okay, and then flip it like so, hold shift and alt. Okay, and then left click and drag, release, move it down here by left clicking and dragging, and then select this, left click and move upwards, type maximum. Okay, maximum. Okay, escape, then move it up here, Control X to cut it, create a new layer on top of everything, Control Shift V, press I for the eyedropper to and sample in here so that you can see it. Okay, and then press V for the move to, hold shift and alt, left click and drag to your right, then get it there like so, and then just like that. Okay, reduce it a bit. Okay, so I went in for small letters instead of capitals. Okay, I just come in here, I just click here, and I think I type everything in caps. I have to work on it. So maximum. Okay, escape like so, hold shift and alt and just increase the size like so. Okay, all right, so we are done with the title, and then up next is Photoshop. Okay, up next is Photoshop. So we come to Photoshop, and then we go to File, New, and then we would add we are going to create our canvas. Okay, yeah, so we are going to input these values. We are going to first change the unit of measurement from pixels to inches before we start keying the values. Okay, so just Control A 5, Control A 6, and then unit of resolution is on 300, and color profile is on Adobe sRGB. Okay, I'll go to create, Control 0 to fit it. Okay, fit the canvas, and now let's start with the designing. Okay, so this is what we are going to do. This is what we want to achieve. So let's move quick. So we start with our characters. So first we just import this Minister of Forests, Dickness Gloria, and then just drag him here like so. Okay, let's escape and then come in here and then position them like so. Okay, this one is very big, so convert it to a smart object first, and Control T, left click and drag to your right to reduce the image size. Press enter to register, Control 0 to fit, then leave it like that. Just left click and drag it, just left click and drag, close it, Control W. Okay, import the final one like so. Okay, very big also, convert it to smart object, Control T, and then reduce the file size like so. Enter to register action. Like so, and then you move it underneath. Okay, like so. So the first set of stuff I just complete, that is arrangement. So let's close this first, then move on. So we just convert this one to a smart object, and then we keep on with the editing procedure. Just drag over everything, Control T, and then reduce it. Please don't drag over everything when you have a lot of elements inside a lot of elements like committed onto the canvas. When you do that and those elements are not locked, they would also be selected and they would also become transformed, or they would also end up being transformed if you transform anything within their selection. Okay. So this time around everything is blank, so I just drag over everything and I'll just reduce their sizes. And then this is the main minister, so it should be in front. Press Ctrl T and reduce the size of this minister, and move it here like so. Okay, select this, Ctrl T. I'm scaling down without fear because of smart objects conversion. Okay, so if you want to scale down without fear, always make sure that your images are converted to smart objects even before you start scaling up and down in Photoshop. Okay, all right. So just like so. Okay, like so, and just drag over them once again and then move them here. So you are left with these ones. Okay, this was how I created it. So I just clicked here, then I imported my title, okay, from Illustrator like so. So I just come in here and then drag over it. Okay, Control C, minimize Illustrator, come to Photoshop, Control V, smart object, very, very important, and then go to OK. So there's an issue somewhere, so I have to fix it in Illustrator. You see, we have some areas over there that are looking grayish. I should have fixed it in Illustrator, so I'll do that later. So observe. So I just reduce the file size like so. When it comes to flyers, your arrangement is very, very important, and your title design is also very, very important. So make sure that you kind of observe all those things. It's not just about the arrangement of the element, and it is not also just about the design of the title. They move hand in hand. Okay, all right. So just reduce the font size like so. Okay, and then click to mark action or register action like so. Okay. Now double click on it, double click on the vector smart object container, and it is going to open up in Illustrator, and then you're going to fix the error. Okay, so my error is in here, the maximum. So I'll just right click on it, create outlines, select it, hold shift, select my rectangle layer, and then divide and trim, ungroup, zoom in with control space and left click and drag. Okay, click outside, click once, hold shift, click, 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 delete. Hold this, click on it, click on this, okay, click on this, click on that, okay, click on that, and merge. So that you have them as one. Okay, Control Z, Control S, and it's going to affect my stuff in Photoshop. Okay, all right. So I've just overwritten it with Control S. It is going to take effect. It is currently saving. So even if you have issues with your title design, okay, in Illustrator, the beautiful thing is when you come to Photoshop, you can, because you imported it as a smart object, you can get back into Illustrator and fix it. That is why I always talk about smart objects and their importance. Okay, this is when it comes to working between Photoshop and Illustrator. So you see the changes has been what effected. So just Control T and then Alt left click and drag to reduce the size. Okay, like so, and then press Control T, right click and select Skew. Okay, and then click here and then move it up like so. Okay, like so. Okay, press Control T, Alt left click and drag inwards to get something like this. Alt left click and drag inwards. Okay, and then we have something like this. Okay, very good. Move it down here. Okay, just as you can see. Okay, like so. And if I want to get rid of the 2025, once again I can come to Illustrator and then just click on it, Okay, press Ctrl X to cut it, create a new layer, click Ctrl Shift V to paste in place, and just hide it and press Ctrl S and save. So you see that when you minimize and go to Photoshop, it will go as well for you. Okay, that's the beauty of it. So you have something like this, and what next? Come in here and then let's create something. So you just hold Control left click, okay, on our title layer to create selections, okay, and then go to select, modify, expand, and this time around you see 20. Let's go to okay and see what we get. Something like this, okay. Let's see if that's correct. That's too much, so Control Z to undo, and then go to select again, modify, expand, and type 15. Go to OK, and now this looks fine. Okay, good. Make sure that you're in a new layer, so click outside it, create a new layer, and hold Alt backspace to fill with your foreground. Control D to deselect and select. You see, that's something like this. So let's fix those bucket caps over here. So you select this layer and kind of fix it a bit. Okay, so zoom in, P for the pen to left click, left click, left click, okay, left click and drag like so and close it, okay, by, okay, and then press Control Enter, and I for the eyedropper, sample this by just left clicking, V for the move to again, and Alt backspace. Our selection was on the inverse, so I'm going to flip it, so Control Z and Control Shift I to inverse our selection, and then this one when I press Alt backspace, it is going to fill inside the area that I would like it to fill. Okay, Control D, V, and now we have this. Okay, very good. So select our title. Let's apply these things before. So you just create a new layer and then drag it underneath everything. Okay, and then we come in here and import this particular download. So just left click and then drag it in here like so. Okay, and then move it up like this. Okay, good. Create a new layer, B for the brush to select, move in here, select the tone paper brush, okay, this, and flip it, hold shift, okay, so that you can constrain the movement of this when you left click and drag, okay, then you can get a perfect, okay, position for this particular indicator. And then just left click, first change the color here to white, and just you want to achieve this, okay. So let's first tilt it, let's tilt it a bit like so. This time around no shifts, okay, just tilting. Then let's left click, let's tilt it a bit, okay, moving in a bit, okay, just like that, moving in a bit, tilt it, okay, like so, tilt it further, okay. So I am tilting the brush just to get the effect that I want for the background, okay. So I'll tilt it again, okay, like this, okay, and this time around, you see, you have from that particular angle, you see that 45 degree now to almost 90 degrees. Good. So now just let me click, let me tilt it a bit like so, okay, and let me apply, okay, to this particular region too as well. If I see it's on 85, it should be on 100, okay, and then left click, okay, like so, tilt further, and left click, tilt, Okay, tilt, just like that. Okay, all right. And this time around we have something like this. Okay, all right. So let's move on. Let's select our title. Okay, and then double click on it, and inside our layer styles, I'm going to give our title this kind of yellowish to greenish gradient feel. Okay, so our layer style is open. Our layer style window is opened. So I just go to gradient overlay, and then I will select this. Okay, I've already used it. That is why it is there. So you can copy from the values that I have here. So green is this. Okay, you can just take a screenshot 2FF. Okay, and then yellow is this. Okay, like so. And these are the placement of the points, and then the midpoint too as well. So you can take a screenshot so that you can follow. Okay, all right. Then you go to OK, and then angle is on 49. Okay, very good. Now we have this. Okay, so I created something afterwards. I grouped V. I just selected the title layer only, not the stroked. That is not the black stroke thing and then just the title layer, just the title layer that I applied the gradient effect. Okay, so I just selected and now press G to group it. Okay, and I would create a new layer on top. Okay, and press Ctrl Alt G to clip mask it onto our group layer. Press B for the brush tool and just click here and then select, move this upwards, cascade this. Okay, cascade, move this upwards and select the hard round. Okay, we do the size. Okay, and then apply. Okay, V for the move to, and then move it up like so, something like that. Okay, and then add a layer mask. B for the brush to select soft round brush this time around and reduce the opacity. Okay, like so, then apply. Make sure that you're on black. Okay, because we have a white layer mask, so we should apply black to hide. Okay, so I'll just, okay, I'll paint black. You see, I'll reduce my opacity here, my brush opacity here now, so that the cleaning is going to be subtle. Okay, all right. So if you don't want it to be subtle too, you can just put on 100, but I'm not sure that you like that. Okay, all right. So I'll just be cleaning like so, just like that, and I'll select it. Okay, I'll select, with it selected, I'll just hold Control, add our title, group, add the stroked layer underneath. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, left click, so hold Control and left click to select everything. Without Control, everything might be deselected. Okay, so press Control T and now scale them up a bit. Okay, press OK and then move them up. Good. For Illustrator, the shortcut for the rectangle tool is M, but in Photoshop, the shortcut is U. Okay, so I'll just press U, I'll just select it from here, and I'll change the color up here by left clicking here and selecting white, and then I will just drag it, okay, somewhere like so. Okay, and then move it up. Okay, so this is what we intend to achieve. Okay, very good. So you just select them and then so left click, hold shift left click and move them up like so. Move them down, okay, with the down arrow key. Okay, okay, not up, down. Okay, all right, so like that, and we have that. So we just Control J and duplicate this particular downloaded layer and then move it downwards. Okay, and just drag it underneath the first one. Okay, drag it underneath. Okay, so that we get an extension. Okay, like that, and good. So you just click on the first one, create a new layer, G for the gradient 2, okay, and click here, click on this arrow here, expand basics and select this, okay, foreground to transparency. So our foreground color is white, so change it to black, okay, and just left click and drag from here upwards like so to give you something like this. Hold Control and Shift and then move it down. Okay, when you hold Control and you left click and drag and you don't add Shift, the movement of the application is not going to be on a straight line. It might kind of move sideways. So you add Shift to constrain everything on a straight vertical line and then move it down. Okay, all right. So I just move it down here like so. Okay, very good. So just like that, we are almost close. And what next? I added some stuff here to have images. Okay, so this is what I did with the image. I just came in here. Okay, came in here, and I have my image here, crowd. So I just import it like so, and I would also work on it. Okay, very good. So I just click on it here and then left click and then drag it and move it in here like so, and now we have this. So I placed it, okay, I kind of placed the way that I want it to be inside the design. Okay, all right, so I just moved it here like so, okay, like this, then press Ctrl T, converted it to a smart object before, very very important, and press Ctrl T and worked on it slightly, something like this, okay, and then use the arrow keys to reposition like so. So I used my tablet was very useful for this particular thing. So I just added the layer mask and then B for the brush to reduce the brush size like so, and went for a hard one brush and then went for opacity 100%. Okay, and then I kind of erase these areas too, okay, by just applying, okay, by just applying dynamically, okay, dynamically, okay. If you don't apply dynamically, you might not achieve the effect that I have here, okay. So I just like so, okay, something like that. And for here too, I think something like that. Okay. Yes. So I just come in here, select this, move to the very top, hold shift click to select the range, okay, and move everything down like so to get an extended view, okay, or an extended, you see this place is extended, so just select this, okay, and then move it up, okay, like so, and click on this. Because they are brush applications, we can move them, okay. I didn't use them to mask those here, I just applied them, so we can move them down, we can move them down, we can move them up, we can just basically reposition them, okay. All right, so just have it something like that. And then what I did afterwards was I just clicked on that particular seam layer that I have kind of positioned that way, the layer the downloaded layer, created a new layer on there, V for the brush tool, and I selected the white round brush, V for the brush tool, and I created this awesome effect. So V for the brush tool, and then selected this soft round brush. It is soft round brush, not hard round brush. Okay, all right. And then left click. So I like how it's looking. Control T, and I kind of moved it like so. Okay, are you following? Okay, so Control J, then moved it here. Okay, to kind of also have the same look. Okay, all right, something like that. And then what I did afterwards was I imported this. Okay, it is called sun rays. When you want something similar, you can just go to Google and then download sun rays. I'm going to link it like inside the video description when I'm free. So anticipate that. Okay. So I just move it in here. I just import it basically here. Then I'll release. Okay. Let me hide the color overlay. Okay. Let me just double click here for you to see how it looks like. This is how it looks like. This is the color. Okay, it is black. Okay, so I just came to color overlay and I change it to white like so. Then I'll just press Ctrl T and I would kind of work on it to make it suit my preference. So I'll just rotate it like so, Ctrl T. There's no need, it's already having it. So I just left click and drag like so. Okay. Just like that. Okay, very good. Go to filter. Before you blur, just convert it to a smart object. And then go to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur. Okay. The blurriness is too much, so just reduce the blurriness to somewhere like so. And we are good. Okay. All right. So just like that, I kind of made sure that I was on top of everything by clicking and dragging, left clicking and dragging this upwards. Click here, created a new layer, U for the shape 2, and created these lines. Created these lines. So these lines are these lines are going to be for their names. And no curvature. So this one was on 0. And V for the move to like so, and Ctrl J, left click and drag, hold shift to constrain, Ctrl J, left click and drag, hold shift to constrain like so. Okay, hold shift and select the range, okay, of those 3 rectangles in here. So this was selected. I held shift and click to select the range. Okay, all right, Ctrl T, shift and distort it a little bit like so, and just like that. Okay, Control space, left click and drag to your right to zoom in, Control T, shift left click and drag upwards to distort it a bit, register it here, Control 0, and I changed color. This was white, now record this was green, something like that. Yes, so I just clicked on this. Okay, double clicked, sampled it color from here, and it made it a bit greener. Okay, something like that. Okay, so let me just basically have the color code in here so that you can see. Okay, you can see the color code. Okay, so this is the color code. So I just copy it in here, Control C. Now come in here and I just click on it, double click in here, then I'll paste the color code, Control V like so. And this was gray. So I'll first sample, I'll double click first, now I'll click here to sample, and I'll just move it upwards like so. Just like that. Okay, just like that. And the rest were like addition. But let me first work on the complexities a little bit. So with the complexities, I selected this layer first, and then I added a gradient map adjustment. Control Alt G to clip mask it. Okay, onto just that particular layer, just as you can see from here, so that it affects on that particular layer. Okay, very good. And then click here, turn this to black, okay, and turn this to white. Okay, you can screenshot the values if you are not sure, okay, to follow. Okay, all right, so black and white, and then change the blending mode from normal to soft lights, like so. I hope you are following. Good. And right afterwards, come in here, go to image, adjustments, and shadows and highlights to give you something like this. Okay? To give you something like this, just as you can see, to just make the image pop a little bit. Okay. All right. And our amount here, we have 35, and then we have our tone here. Our tone is 39, and then we have our radius 30, and the rest were all intact. Okay. So with this image too, so we just copy the same gradient map adjustment. So we select it and press Ctrl C to copy, and then we come in here to this layer and Ctrl V to paste, and Ctrl Alt G is very, very important to clip it on that particular layer. Okay, good. Just as you can see. And click on it, and then you go to image, adjustment, and shadows and highlights. Okay, we just want the images to pop. Okay, all right. And in here, you're also going to work with values such as amount 39, and tone is 35, and radius is on 30. Okay, and highlights, you have highlights here, highlights on 16. Okay, and color is on -45. Why color -45? His image is already saturated, so I'm not supposed to add more color. Okay, the shadows and highlights adjustment automatically adds color. Okay, so if the addition of color to your image is making your image too colorized, you desaturate it a little bit. Okay, and everything is going to look all right. Good. So I'll just go to OK, and you have that. So you select this particular layer tool as well, and then you go to just paste, okay, our gradient map, Ctrl Alt G to paste it, and you select our layer. We're going to image, adjustment, and shadows and highlights. Okay, so just like that, the values, okay, we have 35 here, and we have 39. Okay, we have 30. Okay, just like that. Okay, so that is for the first one. That image is very dark, so it needs more shadows and highlight adjustment. So we just go in there once more. So image, adjustment, and shadows and highlight to kind of elevate, okay, her image, okay, or pop her image. So this time around, the values are going to be radius 30, okay, and we have here tone is 24, and we have 66, okay, for our radius, okay, and we have 30, okay, like that. Okay, it's still dark, so let me, this is okay, so okay, so let me just boost it, let me just boost the tone like so. Okay, and then let me amount somewhere like so. Okay, you get it. Sometimes the values can change, then you have to make sure that everything is, you are in charge of everything as a designer. Okay, all right, so like that. Now add midtone a little bit to it, and just like that. Okay, very good. So the names, I just type them in there. So I just come here on top, create a new layer, okay, like so, and then I just type in the names. Because of time, I just import the names, okay, here like so. Okay, shift, click, control, and then move them like so. Okay, now I position them like so. Okay, like so. Zoom in, control space, like click and drag. Okay, in position like so. Control enter. The font style is space grotesque. Okay, space grotesque. And I'm going to register action and then control 0 like so. Okay, just like that. and the venue too as well. The venue too, I will just import it. Sorry about that. I just import the venue. Okay. And the whole sheet, add this one too as well. Okay. So I am not typing them because they are just types. I just type them. Okay. So I don't see the okay. I don't want to type it so that it wastes time. Okay. So that is why I'm just importing them. Okay. There's nothing special in here. Just type. Okay. So the venue is bigger, okay, than the hashtag because the venue is a significant thing. The hashtag underneath the whole thing, this hashtag, okay, the hashtag maximum impact. You already have the title design, maximum impact. So we shouldn't even bother ourselves bringing that particular hashtag. But you see, designers is for aesthetics. Okay, so the most important thing is the venue. Okay, that is why the venue is bolder than the hashtag. And the word venue is in red color because of attention. I want to catch people's attention as to what the venue is like, what the venue is going to be. Okay, that is how design is. Sometimes you can use colors to attract attention. Okay, very good. So that is what I did here. And then I had them like so. So I just click, hold shift, add this control T, and then you increase the size like so. Okay, and then reposition them like that. Okay, just like that. Okay, I'll select this particular image layer, press, go to filter, and then camera raw filter. I wanted to use the shortcut, but let's go. So Control Shift A shortcut. Okay, camera raw filter. So it opens up and we come in here and then add these values. Okay, we add these values. So we have our clarity and texture set to somewhere like so. Okay, somewhere like so. And yes, you can copy those values if you are kind of uncertain. Okay, you can just take a screenshot so that it kind of guides you when you are also treating the images. Okay, your images might be different, but it is the same thing. Okay, when it comes to what you are going to achieve with that. So let me double click and then add something further. Okay, so I just clarity a little bit. Okay, like so. Go to OK. Then I would boost the highlights. Okay, I'll boost the highlights with shadows and highlight. I'll boost the shadows with shadows and highlight. Okay, so I just go to image adjustment and shadows and highlights. Okay, to boost the highlight. Okay, inside the image to give me this kind of nice effect. I just go to OK, and I have this. So here I just make sure that I was on top of everything. Clicked here, created a new layer, okay, and I typed my date, okay. The date is very, very important, so I made it bold so that even a layman can see that this is the date, okay. Very good. So after creating a new layer, I just came in here. So this is my date, okay, my date and everything, okay. I just click on it, hold shift, click add this, and then move them here, like so. Okay, and these ones were up. Okay, just select them. Okay, then move them up like so. Okay, select our rectangle and then move our rectangle down like so. Okay, and then click on this, the performing. Okay, performance, move it down. Select the date and time and move it there. Okay, the font in there is Tasca. Okay, so let me just double click on it. Okay, Tasca Grotesque. That is the font that I used. Okay, very good. So this is for this. So I'll use this, and you can also use this. Okay. Control T. Okay. So that you get a bigger date and time. Okay. Control T. Like so. Okay. Double click and reduce the spacing in between those slashes. Okay. To also give you something nice. Okay. So then you left click on this and then move it something like that. Okay. So performance. Then we have the date and time. So it is currently not that visible. You see, like so. So just do something small here before we attend to that. And what I did was I created a new layer and then P for the pen tool, okay, and then make sure that I had white set for my foreground. And then left click, 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 left click. You see, like so. Control Enter, Control Shift I to invert the selection if yours has been inverted, and Alt Backspace to fill in with white. Okay, like so, and then create a new layer. Do same for this. Okay, let's see. Okay, reduce its size. Reduce its size. It's too big, so just Control T on the hair and then Control. Okay, and then left click and drag like so. Okay. Just like that. Okay. All right. Click on this and reposition here like so. Then move these ones closer to here like so. Okay, this is what we intend to achieve. Okay, select this, Control T and tilt here slightly. Okay, do same for this, just like that. Okay, and then click on it. Okay, image adjustment, shadows and highlights. It's too much, so just double click, just click here, come in here, and then kind of left click here and drag this, okay, to elevate your brightness a bit. Then click here and elevate the brightness with this. Okay, the images were looking a bit dark. I just bring it here. Now I just go to OK, and now I have this. Okay, very good. So what I did afterwards was I imported this particular megaphone. Okay, I imported it. Okay, and then like so, okay, moved it up here. Okay, and created a new layer, drag it underneath it, converted it into a smart object. Okay, and I just did this. Okay, to just pen to, okay, left click, left click, left click, left click. Okay, left click, left click, left click, like so. Okay, Control Enter, Control Shift I, and then Alt Backspace, like so. Okay, just like that. Okay, just like that. And then see, let me close this, Control W, and you see, just like that. Okay, all right, so close this too as well, come in here and click on this, P for the pen to left click here, click, left click, left click and drag like so, 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 Control Enter, Control Shift I, and delete. Okay, and I typed in and many more, so I just Control J. Okay, like so. Now moved this type here. Okay, okay, type, you type in many more. Okay, so that is what I did for this one. Okay, that is what I did for this one here. Okay, Control G. Okay, let me hide this and delete what I did. So this is it. Okay, so that is how I was able to do this. And with this, if this comes this way, this has to shift, otherwise you have to break it down so that you achieve what I did at first. That is Control Enter, like so. Okay, and then you do the font size on this. Okay, select whole shift, select this, and then move them down like so. And the rest were just, I just typed them. Okay, like the ones up here. Okay, Control 0. Okay, I typed them. The more significant thing I did was I created a new layer and I added this adjustment. So Control Shift N, and then type grain. Okay, and color mode here is color is violet and mode is overlay. Fill with neutral. Go to OK. Double click and change it from its normal look to this. Add the pattern overlay and change the color from this to this. Okay, reduce the size of the boxes like so, and change the blend mode to soft lights. Okay, reduce it further. Okay, so this is how I was able to achieve this kind of netty effect on it. Okay, so double click and you can edit it anytime. Okay, for your likeness. Okay, 17 is fine. Okay, it can be overlaid too as well, depending on the looks that you were looking for. Okay, overlay. Okay, it can be overlay too as well. I think I used overlay and I logged it. So this is how I was able to achieve this net-like effect. Okay, if it is too intense, you can reduce the opacity. You are welcomed. And the rest, I just type them. Okay, church name and this one, UFIC. Okay, you see, all these ones, I just type them. Okay, I just type them, church name for instance. Okay, and the presents to, I typed all of them. Okay, I typed them, and with the UFIC to the same thing. Okay, with this one to the same thing. Okay, I typed it just like that. Okay, and I place it here. Select the church, just the church, and move it here. Okay, so guys, yes, just like that, just like that. They are all just types. Oh shit! So just like that. Okay, So guys, this is how I was able to achieve this artwork in Photoshop. Very, very simple artwork, but nice. So if there's anything inside the work that you don't get or you didn't get, please ensure that you get in touch in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Have an exciting week. It's your boy Inferno here, and I'm out. Peace.